I feel security, say beyond security, you can't discuss here. Even some of them, even it's not even like discuss at our levels. I would say it's even beyond our pay scale. I recall there was a meeting that I will not disclose the full nature of the meeting. That somebody raised the security up, and Ken said, I mean, this is not the first time he's doing politics. In terms of security, he doesn't discuss with more than 2 people. Why? Because he doesn't want it to get out there. But like Jennifer is saying, one thing I am so convinced is that I feel, even if apart from the private security, if there is anybody that should have support and even, I don't want to use control, alignment even with the state security now. The state security, because you need power beyond or down around. Yes, no state security. They have power, no. But this time around, they don't even have the power again for Obi to use the state security. And I give you an example. When they made the central region people, they said I'm also to hopeful. Say to me to our Wolukum, a manina 100%. And also, as a central city, 100% a day. I bet be anywhere to move 100%. It should show you that security was compromised. Obi also be a day. And I mean, just way by just on one small touching. Tribalism one. Interesting, 11 all the 11 modern MPs went to the northern part of the country to campaign for Dr. Bawumia. And of course, the argument was very simple. One of our own, you dare not say on Fananya Day, Emma. It's one of our own, Kwabi I am Fananya Day, Emma. Aha. And it should also tell you there's religious undertones and they can was who, I'm just adding something very brief. Why not a campaign based on the fact to say, a CMB a camp party, a man for my a chess a camp party. One month is that. And later come to complain. Other than any moment, among this is also some also among tasks and for most conform of library and free Ashanti region. Then you allow people to set you up like this. A game which is a matter of strategy, and where you are getting your votes and your numbers from, you say I don't want it again. Again, one is starting Dombo Buzia SM. Dombo who free northeast, Dombo free upper west. They don't go here and asini. Oh, who free northeast to Dombo free upper west. The Casa Crown, you speak different languages. I got to name and proceeding but still. Ose oye no ema de ye e de puse fa nkwata ba no uso di zongo go ba ama ko kan was man say tribalism obi are tribalism. It has always been a way that, especially when for me, I've seen human rights and religion, the hegemony of religion. These are two things that minority groups usually use to blackmail people when you are having honest and bold conversations. Opinion because I say is against my fundamental human rights. Hey, Obi have the human rights into the table, no, so they see this matter now. Obi have the dental, they see this matter now. The same as religion and tribalism. Because we condemn it, people exploit it. Who they are campaigning, you can't watch mass and can watch it. Anyway, indeed, you've observed so well. If you look at all our researches, what Dr. Bawumia is surviving on today is the second chance doctrine. Okay. Because as a sympathy cast been no more play. So other than my record, when me and Sasso, my head on my end, young co. Could be. But the question of saying is a second chance, no. It's not just a reward for showing up. No. My second chance is a reward for showing up. Second chance will be a man second chance be when we be a the moment I say it has always been contingent on performance. It has always been contingent on performance. And to be a one year the amount for us. We hear MPP about my history now and we hear graph now. It has always been on ascending a trajectory. The strong echo. Professor Dubois Sabre ne Breno, Samokaya, or look at the time not military rule yard. Near transition up to military era, Abba, the Republican state, the Fourth Republic, rolling separate on the coalition. About my 2 and 2 will pick ballot boxes, 1 and 2 number 1 yellow. Yeah, I was born in 92, so I'm quite young. It's history that is guiding me. Professor Dubois, despite all this thing, had 30.29%. So I said no. in 92. I know the president Kofo Kohe, I know Musa Omode Ban Kwenimo. Difference between Professor Dubois and the was 1.1 million. When President Kofo be fine in 96, on the Rollins code only 39%. And so the Dubois in the 30, you know, airport 39 and President Kofo any Rollins boost now 1.2 million difference. And to share, Obi over 30 to 30 to 39. How do you say somebody back home could do?
That's why I did.
And Akufo-Addo so first time, and also the call 49. Akufo-Addo we need the first round. Or we need with votes difference of 100,000 plus. Then we were there 50 plus 1. And what they call run off, Anna, Professor Mel School, we need run off. Okay, 2008. Good. And to share, Adubo 30. Kofo 39, Akufo-Addo the 49. Obia the become. Then on go by Akufo-Addo first time, now they're about 41.
No.
41 no. Difference, you have voice difference. Adubo 1.1 million on the Rollins. Kofo first time 1.2 million on the Rollins. Akufo-Addo could D mills and 100,000. So no the difference on Buku BT mills. Then you come and lose 1.7 million and 2.1 million of the previous voters to don't even vote.
That's bad.
How do you say I'm also? Then again, Ofakra, sir, Wufa votes, Obia performance generally, what starts here, Professor Dubois 1.2 million. Anna Kofo Kofo first time 2.8. Anna Kofo 2.8 million. Anna Kofo second time, what they call second time we winning. Let me get
3.6 million. Lawyer, it was 3.6.
Yes, you know. The commissioner, you are forced to help.
3.6, yes. And actually, over 4 point or you know, I feel 2000 to 2004, they call 4.5 million.
Yeah.
And Akufo-Addo be fire. Akufo-Addo so fire. And on Akufo-Addo so let me hold on, let me confirm the figure.
Akufo-Addo's own was 4.15. 4.1.
But the fundamental principle is that at the end of the day, Akufo-Addo's last term he has 6.7. Then you then reduce it to 4.6. And to show a trajectory now from Professor Dubois, Kofo, Professor Dubois up, Kofo first one up, Kofo second one up, Kofo third one up, Akufo-Addo up. So then Akufo-Addo second up, Akufo-Addo third up. Then it was only Bawumia in the history of MPP on the above form. How then do you say and twice?
No.
Which means you are just a wrong product that the people don't want.
They don't want you.
They don't want you. Again, okay, the logic is that Senator Bawumia Sakana and Pedia. One, there are two logic to it. It presupposes that NDC doesn't have anything. But so say, here debate, Unya 41, Osia Kana and Pedia. Then reasonably, NDC can also say almost 56, almost only 56 pay. And you don't even need anything again. Obviously, so steady, Akana and Pedia, and you only Kennedy Koy and also Kennedy is 37, I can't Kennedy is 13 pay. No, so then probably nobody should even be contesting. It's a very whack logic, it's a very unintelligent logic, it's a very flawed logic, and it will only come from people who believe that they don't respect people or mess up with that out. Other than that, how then do you say 1.7 million vote difference with 2.1 million people about I can there? How? Election Bena, a continues. Why do we not vote? I lock in Edugu, Papa, we didn't because any message is one of our guys, but that's obey. I put meeting with the I say, they was that about you. I say, Adakana and you know, sir, vote difference, you know, ne 41%, you know. I don't lock it and the kid said, you also say, $1.
One year, what do want to do when this happens?
I did now.
This was the most familiar born in Timan because I did
the 41 other locking and the lock and kill. I saw the man or $1 and the man GPD key into one man. It's a very whack logic, but you see, I did my question and I said, okay, I will be able to operate. Oh, so how a normal sequence. As Obia, so yet, Obia. Ghanaians, ordinary people, Brian, Ebitum, Ken, Obia, Soyetio. And maybe I do the so steady. Every week, you almost try somebody to be back. Then, by the grace of God, God grants us wisdom. Sometimes it doesn't even come from us. And people see the incoherence and the unintelligence in it. And the difference is 1.7 million votes difference. And interestingly, if it doesn't scare you up, close to 400,000 people voted for our pieces and they did not vote for Bawumia. They voted against it. How do you think Sankofu is Omadre? And Tienka Kent Wayne said, "Man, this is your so." The naked pictures grab up on CNN so. We know who we are going in for, and we know what he stands for. Ken is not a saint; he's a human being. He has strengths and he has shortcomings. There are a lot of things that maybe be a mechanic 10 years ago. I wish I had not said it in that way or fashion. We go, we all learn. But even the supposed shortcomings of Ken, but explanation of the no. Even the supposed shortcomings of Ken can be turned into his strengths. Yes, what Casado, he is passionate about getting results. Yes, he can know he is courageous and can challenge his own people. So it depends on how you want to turn it. Of course, there are excesses that even today, I'm sure all of us, when it's played to us, will be humble enough to say that this is something that you do and we apologize on it accordingly. But 99% of them were done in defense of the party. Imagine party for Akoshe and them Edin Komo with an Akufo Mega Binomo, and somebody recalls what the Safamafo said, then go and sell to an NDC
people.
Accra FM. No, one more bad deal we and they almost brought a tribal conflict between Ashantis and Achens. How would you describe such people? Won't you describe them? Say, I don't know what I say. Yes. Imagine now I saw for you, and then nobody say, and I can say, we did so far. Tell them what you do so far. What's it there? Now we say, hence I saw for you do happen. Christ was the first person to do that when he entered the synagogue and realized that they were abusing and manipulating the church for their own personal gains. In such an instance, if you are somebody like Christ, yes, or with all your investment in the house of God, near the a marketplace, no more what would you be? It's the same to that candidate. What's the woman so for can't go in that time? And now what's the Christ so can't go in that time? I never tell you something. Why is it that there are only certain men of God that you and I still have doubt on them? No matter how you want to defend, you and I still have doubt on them. Unless, of course, you want to say that the church belongs to saints. The church is not a place for saints. It's a place for sinners. So people can abuse the church. Mitimbo Chrono officer can do the same thing at church. Unless, of course, they want to pretend. What I say, so Ken was just calling Nkofano more exploiting the name of God, using the church to enrage themselves. So we just have to take time to offer explanations to them, and we'll do that. But I'm saying that all of us should be ambassadors of this campaign. All of us should be communicators of this campaign and offer those relevant explanations to all of them. But we must also not be so defensive. Say, and nobody do a the two say a hodie and pay you. Ebia anka obeka no kwabo also. But yakoye nipa no, ye 100%. Raw and also in the but even in spite of the shortcomings, there are great character traits can or similar when we exploit it. And that is his trademark of the honesty, the discipline, the patriotism, the courage and fearlessness about him. In the who said it about my Christ was the first person to do that when he entered the synagogue and realized that they were abusing and manipulating the church for their own personal gains. In such an instance, if you are somebody like Christ, yes, or with all your investment in the house of God, near the a marketplace, no more what would you be? It's the same to that candidate. What's the woman so for the can't go in that time? And now what's the Christ so the can't go in that time? I never tell you something. Why is it that there are only certain men of God that you and I still have doubt on them? no matter how you want to defend, you and I still have doubt on them. Unless, of course, you want to say that the church belongs to saints. The church is not a place for saints. It's a place for sinners. So people can abuse the church. Mitimbo Chrono officer can do the same thing at church. Unless, of course, we want to pretend. What I say, so Ken was just calling Nkofano more exploiting the name of God, using the church to enrich themselves. So we just have to take time to offer explanations to them, and we'll do that. But I'm saying that all of us should be ambassadors of this campaign. All of us should be communicators of this campaign and offer those relevant explanations to all of them. But we must also not be so defensive. Say, nobody do what they do. Say, a holiday and train you. Ebia anka obeka no kwa abofo so. Bayakoye nipa no. Ye 100%. Raw and also in the past, even in spite of the shortcomings, there are great character traits can or similar when we exploit it. And that is his trademark of the honesty, the discipline, the patriotism, the courage.